Welcome to week 3. You're halfway there. This week we will be going over chapter 12, aggregate expenditures and output in the short run. To be successful, I would highly recommend careful study of this chapter. There are important concepts that you must understand. In pages 400 to 402, it explains the relationships between consumptions and the national income, as well as relationships between income, consumption, and savings. Another important point to look out for in this chapter is how macroeconomics equilibrium is similar to microeconomic equilibrium. Equilibrium is achieved when the demand of a product equals the quantity supplied. Thus, as it pertains to economics or economies as a whole, macroeconomic equilibrium occurs when total spending or aggregate expenditure equals the total production, also known as GDP. In Chapter 13, we will look at the aggregate demand and aggregate supply analysis. Initially, make sure to understand what aggregate demand and supply are. Recall that GDP has 4 components: consumption, investment, government purchases, and net exports. Thus, ensure that you understand how fluctuations in real GDP are caused by short-run shifts in either aggregate demand or aggregate supply. Note to see there is a relationship between price levels and quantities of real GDP supplied by firms, known as the short-run aggregate supply, SRAS curve. Likewise, make sure to review the aggregate demand and aggregate supply model to help you understand the fluctuations of real GDP. Study and review Table 13.1. It will help you understand what variables will cause these shifts in the aggregate demand curve. To complete the week, you're required to participate in a discussion. You are required to make an initial posting as well as respond to other classmates. Please post early in the week, preferably by Wednesday midnight, to allow your classmates time to respond. You are also required to complete an assignment that requires you to explain the factors that cause business cycle changes. Please read the assignment instructions on how to turn in the assignment. Lastly, you're required to complete a 25-question quiz, so please plan your workload accordingly. I look forward to seeing you in the virtual room on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Have yourself a great week.